some cash. Who wins the Rams-Packers game and by how much?
This is the game I'm most nervous about, oddly enough, even though it's not my team. I don't have a bet on it. I'm going to go Packers by 6, but man, you realize that if the Rams win, Brandon, Tampa theoretically could just be home the rest of the way. Home conference championship game, home Super Bowl. Like, it's an interesting angle to this game if the Rams win, but I got Packers by 6.
Let's go. So yesterday I flipped, Wilds. You convinced me. You convinced me. You and Greg Jennings convinced me that the Rams are the real deal. So I flipped, but I'm flipping back. I can't do it. The football in me wants to go with the Rams, but it's Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers. I can't go against Aaron Rodgers, so I'm gonna go with the Packers by 6.
No take integrity.
Flipping. No take integrity. It's all over.
Brandon, is Aaron Rodgers light years better than Russell Wilson? Is he so much better than Russell Wilson that they don't belong in the same category?
Different styles. Can't say that. What you like?
Different styles.
What you like?
Sure,
different styles.
Totally neutralized. Is DK Metcalf in the same universe as Devontae Adams? Yup. Totally neutralized.
Give your pick,
Rams win.
We're doing this segment later.
14. What?
Rams, he did.
We're doing Rams, Packers later.
Carpe diem. Some people got things to do. I got to give it to them straight. 21-14 Rams.
Download the free Fox Super 6 app. Correctly predict 6 outcomes for each NFC game this weekend, and you can be a big money winner. All right, we're moving on to a little. But first, on this Friday morning, you're gonna have nothing for later, buddy. Brandon, a day later, you got more thoughts on the Harden trade.
Big trade yesterday. My pick. Let's go, Brooklyn. James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. But when you see these big trades, you forget about the little guys. You forget about the role players. Joseph Tsai, owner of the Brooklyn Nets, tweeted out his love letters to those 4 guys, and it was awesome. I was traded 3 times. I got a handshake walking out the building, but I never got a tweet from the owners. Mr. McCaskey didn't tweet me. Nobody tweeted me. So look, great job, Joseph. Keep doing this and leading the way. This is how you do it, owners.
Hey guys, if you know me, you know I am so honest with you about everything, even my own expense. I'll tell you why we're showing Spurs Rockets in a second. But my first big job was in Philadelphia. I was wet behind the ears. I was a young reporter. My very first assignment was to interview the owner of the Philadelphia Flyers, Ed Snyder. I was terrified. My cameraman, Will Kenworthy, said as he's setting up the camera, it's a one-on-one, he says, just be yourself. He'll see right through you if you're not yourself. Don't be intimidated. You can't be intimidated. Don't show your intimidation. I sit down. I look right at Ed Snyder, who was like 75, 80 years old. I was so nervous. Look back at Will. He goes, be yourself. I look at Ed and I go, swear to God, did you see Friends last night? That was the first thing that came out of my mouth. Yeah, did you see Friends last night? But listen, I understand what happened to Grant Hill last night while he was interviewing another intimidating guy, Greg Popovich, maybe one of the most intimidating head coaches in the NBA. Take a listen to what happened to him.
But I just want to know for my dinner later tonight, what compliments a steak best, a Cabernet or a Syrah?
Do you get to go to dinner?
Grant Hill pulling a Jenna Wolf, middle of the game. His team's still playing. They're in it. What happens? What do you pair with your steak? I get it, Grant Hill. Happened to you, happened to me, buddy. We're all the same in this. It gets a little intimidating.
I don't want to see this.
But also put it all over Twitter so the whole world can see. Well, let's stick with that game and actually talk about things that matter to everyone now. Bills hosting the Ravens. There's a chance of snow in the forecast tomorrow night. Advantage Bills. If this turns into a defensive matchup, advantage Ravens. Then there's the quarterback matchup, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. You see now why Nick is so conflicted. Brandon, so many ways to go here. I'll start with an easy one. Who wins the game?
Yeah, Bills. This is easy, right? I mean, it's going to be a tough game, but this is an easy pick for me. I've been talking about this team all year. I've also been talking about this is the only team that can challenge the Chiefs. Nick, you better call your boy and tell him, let B. Marshall, okay, buy me out. I got you, buddy. I know you got bank. I know you're doing great with all your picks this year and your bets, but I don't want to see this happening. Okay, I don't want to see ketchup and mustard just dripping down your face. Come on, no, let's not do that. This kid is so special. I need to read these stats, right? Because you go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear the stats because then I'll give my analysis. I want to hear the stats, please. You go.
Well, because I know. Hopefully, I know where you're going with your analysis because you've been talking about Josh Allen all year and how inconsistent he is. So I kind of want to debunk that. I'm gonna read these notes right now. He's 7-1 versus a top 10 scoring defense with 112 passer rating. Okay, so this inconsistency that you're talking about, I just don't understand it. He's 6-1 versus a top 10 passing defense with 104 passer rating. This kid is going to be the reason why they win this game. We know about Brian Daboll and how creative he is. We know about Stephon Diggs. That defense, they're good enough to slow those guys down. But I'm trying to tell you, Nick, you got to take this Josh Allen serious. Forget the mustard and the ketchup. You need to be prepared to come in here next week and apologize to Bills Mafia for all of your scrutiny and all of the things that you said this year about their team and Josh Allen.
And so I understand that is on the board along with what Wilds thinks could end my television career, which is the embarrassment of getting Pinto Rond. Here's why I don't think it'll happen. I think, and I believe that Brandon, we actually might agree on a lot of these points. The Bills have a good coach. I think the Ravens have an excellent coach and certainly the more experienced coach. The Bills very well might have a good quarterback. I believe the Ravens have a better quarterback. I know the Ravens have a better defense, and most importantly, Wilds, is this. The Bills want to beat you by throwing the ball, and the Ravens have an exceptional secondary. Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey. The Ravens want to beat you by running it straight down your throat. And that is the Bills' biggest weakness. So what the Bills want to do, the Ravens are somewhat equipped to slow down. What the Ravens want to do is what the Bills struggle with the most. So you have, let's call the quarterbacks a push, just so I don't have to argue about Josh Allen. Let's call the coaches a push, even though I think Harbaugh is a tick better. The Ravens have the better defense, and to use the old cliche, Wilds, styles make fights. The style, to me, certainly favors the Ravens in this game, and that's why the money has come in on the Ravens, and the point spread's gone down, and that's why I think this will be the one upset of the weekend.
I totally agree with you, and I'm personally happy because I don't think it would ruin your career. But it would certainly be the #1 Google image search if you covered in ketchup and mustard. And I'm not interested. I think it's bad, honestly, for me. I think it's bad for me, Brandon, and Jenna. It's more of a selfish thing, unless you're concerned about your career.
It's embarrassing.
Okay, Brandon.
Yeah.
How are
we don't need
you just talked about it?
Guy.
The one chance the Browns have of beating the Chiefs: run the ball, keep Mahomes off the field. I think it's the same strategy for keeping your buddy Josh Allen off the field. Time of possession, Ryan Tannehill had the ball for 26 minutes. The Bengals, I don't even know who they started, to be totally honest. They had the ball for 19 minutes. Danny Dimes had the ball for 25 minutes. 236 yards against the Titans, 400 yards against the Bengals, 249 against the Giants. So I think if they just run. Shot to Hollywood Brown. Run. Hollywood Brown gets another shot. Oh, broken play. There goes Lamar. I don't think, like, as much as I agree with you, you've sold me on Josh Allen, I don't think he gets that many opportunities because the Ravens will just have the ball for the large majority of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Nick just rattled off, 5 or 6 things and said, I think you're going to agree with me on most of them. No, I agree with you on one. And that's to your point, Wilds, is that is their biggest weakness on that defensive side, is that front four. Those guys in that front seven, they got to do a phenomenal job of trying to slow down Lamar Jackson and that running attack. It's going to be hard. It's damn near impossible. But all they got to do is bend, but don't break. But here's the deal, though, Nick. Where's Brian Daboll from? Who hired Brian Daboll? Coach Mangini in New England. right? He's a guy that learned from Coach Mangini. He's the guy that learned from Josh McDaniels. He learned from Bill Belichick. And what do those guys do? They go into each game with a new playbook and attacking the other team's weakness. So when you talk about that offense and Josh Allen, oh, they want to beat you throwing. No, that's the perception, because that's what they're really good at. But they can also dial it up in the run game. They can also get it done there.
Yeah, but no Zach Moss hurts them in that regard. That's maybe the one big injury, Jenna, from Wild Card Weekend, the Bills losing their running back. But I agree. Dable will have some wrinkles. There's no doubt about it, Jenna. There's no doubt.
All right, we got